Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren Wood. The gates are open for the 2016 Canfield Fair and there's a busy day ahead. If you are planning to head out, you may wind up dodging some rain showers. Let's take a live look right now at the Canfield Fairgrounds. This is our live traffic camera. We've been telling you about this for several days now. You can check this out anytime on WKBN.com. Find out what the traffic is like before you head out to the fairgrounds. Maybe find the best time to kind of dodge all of that heavy traffic and not get stuck in a jam. Rich Morgan was out at the fair all morning long. He joins us back in the Weather Center now with your Storm Team 27 forecast. He's tracking those showers and finding out if they're going to affect things today.
Yeah, I encountered just a couple of raindrops there, but for this afternoon, expect chance of thunderstorms and a high around 80 degrees. This is much unlike last year for the Canfield Fair. Tomorrow, partly sunny, cooler, high of 74, and then mostly sunny on Friday with a high of 75 degrees. These showers are coming off of Lake Erie right now, and we're getting some light rain. It hasn't made it to Canfield yet. This is a line from Ellsworth to Bowman's Corners down to Greenford. It's moving slowly in an easterly, southeasterly direction there, so you might get a few raindrops here this afternoon. But the main part of the storm that's coming off of Lake Erie is here in northern Trumbull County from Mesopotamia, Bloomfield, Greene, Mecca, Kinsman, Corinth, and it's heading more towards Cortland and Latimer in a southeasterly direction. So probably more of the rain will show up in Mercer County this afternoon as well. We did have some rain between 7 and 10 o'clock this morning. You can see it was a very light rain except for around Sandy Lake where they almost got about a quarter of an inch of rain. Well, with the cloudy skies here now, our temperature is at 75 degrees. Expect a cooler afternoon and the clouds forming over the airport, downtown Youngstown. Again, no rain there, no rain in Warren either, just cloudy. Looking ahead, cloudy this afternoon, showers. You'll feel the humidity, but it won't feel that bad because, after all, the high's only going to reach 80 degrees. But we could have some thunderstorms, especially around 5 and 6 o'clock during the news there, and then it tapers off in the evening. So, coming up, how hot is August as we come to this last day of August? We'll be tracking the thunderstorms, and we'll be cool, but for how long? We'll find out.
The fair runs through Monday, September 5th. The gates are open each day from 8 in the morning until 11 o'clock at night. Tickets will cost you anywhere from $3 to $8 depending on the day and also how old you are. Remember, parking is always free. So what's happening today at the fair? Well, animal showing and judging is going on. There's a cheerleading demonstration that got started at 11 o'clock this morning featuring squads from several local schools. That started again about an hour ago. And then, of course, tonight is the Happy Together concert. Rich will be out there for that. Yeah. Featuring Flo and Eddie from the Turtles. That starts tonight at 8 o'clock at the grandstand. And as we were telling you, that traffic cam is available all the time on WKBN.com and the WKBN app. We are your home for everything happening at the fairgrounds all week long. Just go to WKBN.com, find the community tab, then click on Canfield Fair. That will get you all the information you need to know. Some local school districts are out of school for the next few days to give kids and their families a chance to enjoy the Canfield Fair. But one state senator wants all districts to push the start of school back until after Labor Day. Ohio Senator Gail Manning from Huron and Lorain counties introduced this bill. She wants that change for many reasons, including the lack of air conditioning in a lot of schools. But she says a big part of the problem is the fact that many students are involved in county fairs and there's a big conflict when it comes to starting classes earlier in August. One local superintendent understands that dilemma.
See, I can see both sides. A common calendar for administrators, for staff, and the state of Ohio. Yeah, there's some attraction to that. However, realistically, I just can't imagine that would happen. Again, knowing that every district has its own unique culture.
And this bill would require all public schools to open after Labor Day, starting with the 2017-18 school year. Individual districts would still have the option to opt out of that. New at noon, the Ohio State Highway Patrol launched its Move Over, Slow Down campaign this morning. Troopers say too many distracted drivers are running into officers and emergency vehicles in Mahoning County. That's what happened during this crash in Jackson Township from July. Troopers had that mangled cruiser you see there on display at today's event. OSP wants to remind you, you are required by law to slow down when you get close to emergency vehicles with their lights on. Reporter Julie Bursick was there for today's campaign launch. She will have more on why this is so important tonight at 5 and 6. New details this noon about a crash this morning in Mesopotamia Township. State troopers say the driver of this pickup truck went left of center and crashed head-on into a van about 5:30 this morning. That happened on State Route 87 between 45 and 534. EMTs took both drivers to the hospital. Neither of them was wearing a seatbelt. There's no word on how serious their injuries are. The Ohio State Highway Patrol is investigating that crash. A car wound up inside a house in Girard overnight, and police say the driver was drunk. Officers came out to Marie Drive about 11:30 p.m. They found Noel Thomas sitting on the front porch, apologizing for hitting the house. There is some damage to the garage there, but Thomas and anyone inside the house was not hurt. Officers say Thomas smelled of alcohol. She also failed a field sobriety test. They arrested her at the scene and took her to the police station, where reports say she refused a drug test. Thomas is charged with OVI, failure to control, driving on a temporary permit, and open container. A Youngstown man accused of raping a 16-year-old boy is now behind bars. Police arrested this man, Kenneth McGuire Jr., yesterday on a charge of gross sexual imposition. Investigators say McGuire forced the teenager to have sexual contact with him back in 2013. He is expected to be arraigned next Tuesday. Don't forget, happening tomorrow, Vice President Joe Biden will be in the Valley on a campaign visit for Hillary Clinton. One of his stops will be at the UAW 1714 Hall on Salt Springs Road. Doors open at 9:30 with that event starting at 11. Biden is expected to talk about Hillary's vision to create jobs and help grow the economy. People interested in going do have to register. You can find out how to do that by going to our website, WKBN.com. Don't forget, we will have complete team coverage of Biden's visit tomorrow, beginning at noon on 27 First News. A busy day today on the campaign trail as Donald Trump meets face-to-face with the Mexican president. This is a high-stakes last-minute visit with a leader who's been openly critical of Donald Trump. Meantime, Hillary Clinton is addressing veterans and facing new revelations about the content of some newly recovered emails. Craig Boswell has the latest on our campaign 2016 coverage from the White House.
Donald Trump is headed to Mexico to meet with Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto. President Peña extended an invitation to the Republican nominee and explained why. I believe in dialogue to promote Mexico's interest and to protect Mexicans. Many Mexicans are not happy about Trump's visit. Former First Lady Margarita Zavala tweeted, "Although they have invited you, no, you are not welcome."
Mussolini, así llegó Hitler.
Peña has been an outspoken critic of Trump, comparing him to Mussolini and Hitler. He says Mexico will not renegotiate NAFTA or pay to build Trump's wall.
Big speech on immigration.
Trump is scheduled to clarify his stance on immigration tonight in Phoenix after softening his rhetoric about deportation forces rounding up America's 11 million undocumented immigrants. Hillary Clinton is back on the campaign trail after spending most of last week fundraising. She's speaking to veterans at the American Legion convention in Cincinnati. The State Department now says some of the emails the FBI recovered from her private email server contain approximately 30 documents that may be related to the Benghazi attack that killed 4 Americans. The FBI is expected to publicly release notes from its investigation of Hillary Clinton's private email server. Craig Boswell, CBS News, the White House.
Clinton and running mate Tim Kaine will bring their campaign to Cleveland on Labor Day. The pair will attend the 11th Congressional District picnic and parade in Luke Easter Park in Cleveland. The Youngstown Police Department unveiled a new vehicle today. This is a prisoner transport vehicle, and all the money came from the traffic speed cameras on the freeways and in school zones. The prisoner areas all have seat dividers and seat belts to prevent prisoners from sliding when that vehicle's moving. It's also fully equipped with a video monitoring system. Officers in the front can see exactly what prisoners are doing in the back and make sure there are no medical issues. This is larger and designed to be safer than its 16-year-old predecessor.
With the older unit, it doesn't have any of these, again, devices within the unit to provide for a level of safety of the individual prisoners to avoid any of the problems that have occurred in other places.
Chief Robin Lee says they plan to start using that new vehicle next week once everyone is trained on it.